Welcome back to the channel. I'm standing next to the 2022 Chevrolet Bolt. This is the most affordable EV on the market as of this filming, and this is the 2022 version, but keep in mind for 2023 Chevy has cut the price of the Bolt to be very affordable, especially if you're looking to put an electric vehicle in your actual driveway. Looking at the styling of the Chevrolet Bolt here, please excuse my voice guys, I sound very raspy right now, but let's talk about the exterior color here. Chevrolet calls this a cherry red tint coat. It looks good with the gloss black and chrome trim throughout this vehicle here. Looking at these headlights here, this is LED turn signal, LED daytime run light with its full LED projector headlight here with an automatic low and high beam. There's a lot of gloss black and black painted trim here in the front fascia. I love the nice pattern to this portion where there will be a grille if it was a combustion engine vehicle, with the blacked out Chevy bow tie with the chrome outer portion there around the bow tie. Gloss black trim like I mentioned, and it does have active grille shutters here just in case the battery needs to be cooled. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the Chevrolet Bolt EV. Looking at the side profile, this has a 102.4 inch wheelbase with an overall length of 163.5 inches. So really good dimensions here in this segment. Looking at these tires and wheels here, these are a 215/50 Michelin tire. They're wrapped in this 17-inch rim design. I like the nice alloy finish here to the rim design, which has like this turbine finish as well. There's some more black painted trim here, which is the cladding. Of course, it wouldn't be an SUV without the cladding. There's some chrome trim here around the window wells, black painted mirror cap here. There's some LED sight marker. There's this little chrome portion here to lock the vehicle and unlock it. And there's no sunroof on this particular model here. But I like the nice design cues here with this floating roof design. Looking at the rear of the Bolt here, I think the rear looks very handsome to me. I like the nice clear lens to the taillights here. The turn signals are going to be down here. There's also full LED reverse lights and brake lights there. There's this black bar here, which cuts between the taillight modules with the blacked out Chevrolet bow tie there and with the Bolt EV badge. And shout out to H. Greg. There's rear parking sensors here with more black trim there, and the reverse light is actually down here, and it's going to be incandescent lightings for the tag with the backup camera there. Open up trunk here. This is a manual opening portion here. Once it opens up, it reveals 16 cubic feet of space, so pretty practical space in this vehicle. There's going to be incandescent lighting for the actual trunk area back here. And once you let down the seats, it expands the cargo to 57 cubic feet of space. And underneath here, as you guys can see, there's my book bag, very deep underfloor storage. Looking at the interior of the Chevrolet Bolt here, this is a 10.2 inch display. It does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless, or you can use the USB charging port. But the materials in this vehicle is pretty decent, and this interior also offers tons of space, great visibility out this interior as well. We'll talk about that in the actual driving scene here. But looking at the door panel materials, like I mentioned, once again, very decent material here with this gray painted trim, with this cloth or this fabric-like material there. It is auto up and down only for the driver window. There's this chrome accented door handle here. Your mirror adjustment control, lock controls are there. Large storage and cup holder space in the actual door panel with your illumination switch here. And your headlight controls are off to the side there. And this is a manual tilt and telescoping wheel. It does offer good range and adjustability. And to start up the Bolt here, as you guys know, this is a full-on electric vehicle, so we just press the power button there and everything will come on, because once again, it does not have an engine underneath that hood. But shutting the door here, the door sounds very solid in this vehicle. As you guys can see, the screens will greet you and whatnot to show you your Chevy logo there, or icon. Right now, I have to connect my phone back again. Let me see if it will do it for me automatically, because I had to, for some reason, it disconnected my phone twice, so I'm not sure why is it doing that. Okay, so as this connects, hopefully it connects so I can show you guys how the Apple CarPlay looks. Looking at this display here, front and center, it does show you your minutes into charge, or your range, your max range. There's also a power flow there, your driver's assistance tech. And I think for the 2023 model Bolt, you can get Super Cruise, and there goes the CarPlay right there. It starts up. For some reason, it disconnected my phone twice since I've been in this vehicle. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But over here is the turn signal and automatic high beam switch with the automatic beam, the automatic button there. This is for regenerative braking. You can hold this, or you guys can use the one pedal drive feature, which is here. It lights up a nice green to let you know that it's on, or to let you know that you have it off. Right, it's going to be for the key holder, electronic parking brake, parking button is here to go into park. To go into reverse, just pull up on this. It does reveal a large backup camera with trajectory and distance markers. There's front and rear parking sensors. To go into neutral, you click into drive, just pull this there, and now the vehicle is ready to go. And to put into park, just click P There's a sport mode. There is a stability control there. Your lane keeping assist. 2 cup holders here with some aluminum painted trim here. The center armrest is going to be somewhat decently padded. It does reveal a good amount of storage in there for this to be for this to look very small. The seats in here, they're supportive and comfortable, believe it or not. They're cloth seats. They're only 3-level heated seats, not cool seats. Just push on this toggle here to activate the heated seats. I definitely don't need that today because it's super hot outside right now. And over it's going to be for the dual climate control. Like I mentioned, a lot of gloss black trim throughout this vehicle. The materials on the dashboard are going to be a nice material with this faux stitching. There's air vents here, has a button there. Looking at the glove compartment, it does offer somewhat of a good amount of space in there. Looking at the steering wheel, here's going to be a 3-spoke wheel design. Pretty nice large steering wheel here with the blacked out Chevrolet bow tie. Here's your voice commands here. Also your controls to answer and hang up the phone. Over for your driver's assistance tech. This does have foreclosure warning, also with the cruise controls. And the rest of the window controls, I forgot to mention, just automatic down but not up. So only the driver gets that function there. But overall, the boat interior is somewhat very modern. I like the nice display here. I'll show you guys the actual Chevrolet's interface here. Like I mentioned, this is their older interface. It's not the Google base that they have in the Tahoe, Suburban, and so forth, and also in the new redesigned interior of the Silverado. But looking here, there's your energy page here. Once it shows up, you guys can look at different things like your history, your impacts, details, and whatnot. The climate settings, the battery is there, the driver assistance and whatnot. So. And there's your charging time and whatnot. On a DC fast charge, you guys can recuperate 100 miles in about 30 minutes. So me personally, if you guys are looking to try to charge a vehicle at a faster rate, I would recommend looking to charge it with the DC fast charger. And then you can also mess with your climate control via the screen, or you guys can basically just use the toggles down here. And this does have a heated steering wheel function and whatnot. But once again, the interior of the boat is very well laid out. Very unique electric vehicle, especially in the electric market. Getting into the interior of the Chevrolet boat here, open up the rear door. This vehicle does offer tons of space, even though it does have a very small exterior styling cues to this vehicle. But getting in here, really good stepping height for this to be a quote-unquote SUV. And I do have plenty of foot space here underneath the driver's seat. This is where I have the seat to drive, and there's no mat pockets back here or air vents or no charging ports, but you guys can fit 3 people across in comfort. My model does have the cloth seats, like I mentioned, from the front seats. The materials are going to be a pretty decent material with this chrome accented door handle. The switchgear feels typical GM, which is really nice. And there's this nice padded area here with some cup holder space in the door pocket. And you guys can also fold the seat down via that lever over there to give you maximum cargo. And there is no armrest here to pull down, but above me is going to be incandescent lighting throughout the cabin. But overall, the back seat of the boat is pretty spacious, even though the exterior styling makes it look very cramped. Let's talk about the powertrain specs here for the Chevrolet Bolt EV. As you guys can see, this vehicle sadly does not offer a frunk. That's why Chevrolet gives you tons of interior space, also cargo space, to make up for not offering a frunk here for you guys. But let's talk about the powertrain specs here. This is Chevrolet's 65 kilowatt hour battery pack. This vehicle, as it sits here, weighs around 3,500 pounds. Chevrolet says this vehicle will do 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. This vehicle also makes 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. It does use a 1-speed reduction gear. And this vehicle also remains front-wheel drive. There's no all-wheel drive boat, sadly, as of this filming. And this vehicle will leave 2 black marks in the road if you guys were to stop accelerator at a dead stop. But let's talk about charge times here for the Chevrolet Bolt. Open up the charge door here. This vehicle does have a J1772 plug. If you guys use a 120 volt, that would take around 12 hours to charge this vehicle up. Pull this orange flap down here, and it does reveal the DC fast option. On a 240 volt, Chevrolet says this vehicle will recuperate 25 miles per hour. But me personally, I would just use the DC fast option here to get 100 miles in about 30 minutes or so. And on a full charge, Chevrolet says this vehicle will go 259 miles. So I'm leaving where I'm normally filming at, guys. I hate that my voice is so raspy. I hate it. So yeah, so we're gonna start off here in the Chevrolet Bolt. It's been about 2 or so years since I've driven a Bolt, and this is Chevy's full-on electric vehicle. You guys know Chevrolet is going fully electric very soon. I want to say within the next 3 or 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. This is their 65 kilowatt hour battery pack here. This makes 200 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. It uses a 1-speed reduction gear. And I do have the vehicle in its one pedal drive, so if I were to ease off the brake right now, the vehicle will come to a complete stop, and it recuperates that power and puts it into the battery pack. Visibility wise, this vehicle has tons of visibility, great sight lines, very thin A-pillars here, and you can see out of this vehicle very well. And for this to be a small car that weighs around 3,500 pounds, it's very smooth, very compliant, and I just like the way that this vehicle drives. And it does have a sport mode also. And once again, if I ease off the brake here, the vehicle will come to a complete stop, which is really nice. So if you guys are used to Tesla or Mercedes vehicles, which are electric, you guys are gonna feel right at home. But let's come to a stop here, and it's put into a sport mode just by pressing this button here. It says sport mode is on. Oh my God, it's fighting for traction. Oh God, that puts a smile on my face. 200 horsepower at a low RPM because it's instantaneous torque, guys. You got to keep that in mind. So if you guys are not used to driving an electric vehicle, it will kind of scare you a little bit if you're not used to driving a full EV. And let's talk about charging time. On a 120 volt, Chevrolet says this vehicle would take 12 hours to charge up to 65 kilowatt hour battery pack. If you guys use a 240 volt or a 32 amp, you would get 25 miles in about an hour or so, 25 miles per hour. So me personally, if I had nothing to do for the rest of the day and I was home, I would use a 240 volt or 32 amp to charge up my vehicle. If you guys are in a rush or so, I would just use the DC fast option, which you can recuperate 100 miles in about 30 minutes. This battery pack is somewhat small, so that's why it does take a longer time to basically charge and whatnot. But this thing is just so damn quick for it to be this small. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of the exterior styling. I wish Chevrolet would have just offered something a little bit more bold, befitting the name of boat. But the vehicle does have some very unique design cues. It looks very different. It's an electric vehicle. Me personally, I'm not too big on the futuristic styling of some of the EVs on the market, but some competitors like Genesis, they have the G80 Electrify, which is kind of, still a car, a car exterior styling. They just use the battery pack of electric vehicle, but those looks is what I want, personally speaking, just to look traditional, not to look, futuristic and frumpy and whatnot. But if you guys don't mind the slow charge compared to some of the other fast electric vehicles on the market, the Bolt is definitely the way to go, especially for 2023 with Chevrolet cutting the price of the Bolt. After spending time with the 2022 Chevrolet Bolt EV, this vehicle offers tons of acceleration because it's a full-on electric vehicle. And like I mentioned from the driving scene, you will leave 2 black marks in the road because this vehicle remains front-wheel drive. If you're stabbing acceleration at a dead stop, the exterior styling to me is very frumpy looking, just like every other EV on the market. With that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this full review here on the 2022 Chevrolet Bolt EV. Be sure to check me out on Instagram at @DriveOnReviews. Hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. And I will see you all in the next video.